Greetings, travelers, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Shield version Nuzlocke, presented by Draco Breach. And yeah, this entire episode is grinding, and more than likely the entirety of next episode will also be grinding. And part of the reason is because, well, I'm trying to get everybody up to around level 60. Well, maybe not everybody, because you'll see in this episode that I do evolve Yumi, and I catch a few new Pokemon from areas where I have not actually caught anything yet. Mainly because I kind of realized that I hadn't caught anything yet. And part of the reason that I'm grinding on Route 9 here instead of Route 10, where the Pokemon are slightly higher level, is because I have a lot of Pokemon that are less than level 55, and I'm not sure that they're actually ready for an ice route, especially when you have a ground type in Coil. And even though Amalga is neutral to ice types, I'm still hesitant to send a dragon up against ice types. I'm pretty sure Amalga is fine, especially with its very high defense and pretty sturdy special defense, so there is that. You'll notice a few cuts through the episode, and I'll tell you right now, that's primarily because I left my software to record while I prepared and ate dinner during this recording. So yeah, this recording took a while, and I didn't even get everybody up as high as I wanted them to. So there's that. Yeah, I'm not gonna put timestamps of when certain things happened. Just because I don't think it's necessarily necessary. If you want to watch grinding sped up as much as it is in this episode, that's great and all, but I kind of expect that grinding episodes like this and what is probably going to be next episode to be fairly unpopular. So there's that. So, yeah, primarily what I was thinking for this grinding was, since most of what I was seeing for being worth knocking out were, wild encounters in the grass and not overworld encounters, and that kind of surprised me. But the overworld encounters really weren't worth much because you had unevolved Pokemon. But all the wild encounters in the grass were evolved and quite worth the experience, because my Pokemon that were below level 55, well, below level 50 were getting, 1,000 plus experience points. And like this Pokemon right here, I think I was still in the comparison phase, and I think like this Pokemon right here gave me like 400 or 500, so literally half the experience. I didn't even see because of that. But yeah, that's what it is. Also, because of how just long it takes to record a grinding episode, this week is going to be a little light on content, so forgive me on that. But again, it is what it is. And when it does get, because it looks like, it's kind of weird because I have to actually kind of pay attention to where the audio spikes. Because during grinding, the audio doesn't spike as much in my editor here. So I can kind of see when major events where I slow down the recording to show an evolution or a catch. And it looks like it's around the, if I had to guess, around the 26-minute mark is when I start trying to evolve Yumi. Then around the 40-minute mark, I start hunting Pokemon. So there's that. And yeah, so fun stuff. Kind of the interesting thing is, I mentioned it last episode, but I'm actually kind of, I'm on the hunt in Pokemon Ultra Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, for a Regenerator, a Alola Mola, and an Infiltrator Zubat. Still am. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of a hard-fought search for those because of reasons. Because unfortunately, Zubat can easily be caught at really low levels, and people will just go to the first cave in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, catch a Zubat, and trade it for something good like a Mudkip. And since I'm raising damp Mudkips right now, they're getting a significantly better. But it's like I said, I'm trying to get them. It's my deal. I'm just failing miserably at getting what I want. Every once in a while, I do get something that I want. I mean, I got an Anticipation Eevee, and that was a nice catch. Trade, I should say. Nice thing to see come across. Kind of the interesting thing is I actually put up, I think a Milcery, a Dynamax Milcery, in my Sword copy, and ended up getting an Anticipation Eevee over on Sword. So, I mean, that was just completely random and rather likable, honestly. So, every once in a while, things happen. And like right now, I am trying to hatch a shiny Mudkip, so maybe it will happen soon. I remember my shiny Larvitar took forever. I mean, that took weeks of grinding out eggs. Now, admittedly, I can't dedicate hours and hours to it a day, but I had, I think, 12 6IV Larvitar and a full box of 5IV, and with the preference with the 1IV that was not max being special attack. So these are all preferred IV Larvitars. So literally a box and a half of perfect Larvitars before I got a shiny. And the shiny, I can't even remember what stat it was missing, but it was missing one, so I'm going to beat. So I have to raise it to level 100, evolve it, and use a bottle cap on it, which is, it is what it is. Grinding is always. Oh yeah, right there I forgot exactly what type, I think Delumise is what it's called. I forgot exactly what type it was. I thought it was Steel Ghost, but I was thinking it could have been Grass Ghost. So yeah, I made a blunder there, and that is what happens when you make a blunder. You get a massive attack and you don't like it. But fortunately, Coil survived my mistake. I was pretty confident Coil would not faint from that, but I was like, okay, well, back to heal. And I have to heal a lot because, primarily with Coil, because Coil, despite having relatively high defense, takes quite a bit of damage in return. Takes quite a bit of damage. So I'm thinking it probably has pretty low HP. Not 100% confident there, but I didn't have to take. I almost said Meowth. Oh geez. Eric the Red. I didn't have to take Eric the Red back for healing as much as Coil. Maybe it's something else, but who knows? It's also kind of interesting, like, hearing people's stories of their first shinies and everything, or their quest for certain things. Because I'm not really huge as far as competitive goes, because I am raising Pokemon to have certain IVs, certain movesets and everything, but it's mainly for my own entertainment, to have a little bit of fun. Like my absolutely dumb Durant, which is, I think I've mentioned it before, but it's a truant Durant. It has, I know it has at least 5 IVs, and special attack is one of the IVs that it definitely does not have. And it's built to be defensive, to take hits, because its gimmick is not necessarily to achieve a victory, is not necessarily to take W's. Its point is to get out there and kind of be annoying and kind of stall. And the way it achieves this is, first of all, it's female. It has to be female because kind of an interesting statistic is the majority of players run male Pokemon, because they don't bother to breed specifically for male or female. So most people get male because a lot of the Pokemon are kind of, especially starters, a lot of the Pokemon are actually kind of weighted towards being male. And it could be also what version they're playing, because certain versions weigh more male and certain versions weigh a little bit more female. And I can't remember exactly which versions in some cases. Like in Generation Black and White, I think Black might have been a little bit more male, and White might have been a little bit more female. In Sun and Moon, Sun was a little bit more male, and Moon was a little bit more female. I can't remember if that's true or not, but something is telling me that it might be. Anyway, that's beside the point. The way this Durant was set up is, number one, it was truant, its hidden ability, which people immediately think, oh, that's terrible. The point of this Durant was built around truant. And I saw somebody run this one time, and I'm like, huh, that's kind of curious. I wonder how dumb this can be. It is absolutely dumb, and I made it as dumb and as infuriating as possible. Durant, first of all, has great defense, so I didn't really build up its defense. I maxed out its HP as far as effort values go, and then I kind of spread effort values out kind of evenly between speed and special defense to let it be nice and bulky and take some hits. I did put some points into defense to ensure that it remains bulky even there. So like I said, the entire point of this is to stay in the game as long as possible. Move number one. is its bread and butter, entrainment, which it does a little dance and makes its opponent also truant. So a lot of people send out for like sweepers or whatever, like the first Pokemon that they send out is typically some kind of setup Pokemon. They're being sent out either as a sacrifice to set up like spikes or something like that, or as a sweeper that does like, you know, dragon dance or quiver dance or belly drum or something, whatever. So first turn I use entrainment. No matter what they used, more than likely my Durant survived. I think I also have a focus sash on it to make sure that it survives with 1 HP. I can't remember though. I might have gone with a different strategy. Anyway, so second turn, we both are doing nothing. Third turn is kind of based on what I feel like they're going to do. There are some people who will swap out on the second turn. They'll use the turn where they're doing nothing to swap out. But if you do that, I kind of know what your plan is, and I can just use entrainment, and you're kind of in the same boat. Unless you were smart enough to bring a Pokemon that uses a fire-type move and melt the little metal bug. But that's beside the point. So based on what you do, I either decide to use entrainment again, predicting that you're going to do something to get your truant Pokemon off the field, or I start making you extremely mad by casting Thunder Wave. So now you again have a choice. You take this now paralyzed and truant Pokemon out of the match and replace it with something that might be able to better take on Durant, or do you try to persevere and just get rid of the Durant with your first Mon on the field and continue on? Next chance that I have, I use Attract. Yes, you see how annoying this is very quickly, because now every other turn, if your Pokemon is still under the effect of entrainment, you're doing nothing. And every turn that you can do something, you have a 25% chance for paralysis and a 50% chance for attraction. So that reduces your chance of action to around, if I remember correctly, 18%. I might have to run my calculations again. Doesn't really bother me, because the next move is where everybody... Oh, I remember what I have on my Durant now. I have a King's Rock because of its move. I'm pretty sure it's a King's Rock because of its move. Iron Head, which I believe is a 30% chance to flinch. It might be lower than that, but I believe it's a 30% chance to flinch. I believe it's increased to 40% with a King's Rock. It might be slightly higher than that. So now that 18% chance turns into more of a 7 or 8% chance, because my Durant is actually pretty fast. And your Pokemon is paralyzed. Yeah, this Durant is mean. But at the same time, it is a gimmick. It is highly situational, and it is designed specifically to just be an annoying stall Pokemon. And considering that Durant takes quad damage to fire, most people are able to handle it pretty calmly and pretty quickly. What I've typically noticed when I bring this Durant into battle is one of 3 behaviors. Behavior number 1. Completely annoyed, rage quit. Okay, well that was kind of boring. Behavior number 2. caught off guard, kind of panics, doesn't know what to do, and I end up taking out one or two of their Pokemon, or at least neutering them with Durant before they figure out how to get rid of it. And player number 3 completely calmly melts the metal bug. Quite frankly, anybody who doesn't rage quit, I immediately respect, because hey, they're at least trying, and they're, even if they're panicking a little bit, they're working it out. They're getting the gears rolling. But it's dirty. I know it's dirty, and it's kind of fun every once in a while. I don't bring out this Durant all the time. I have other teams that I prefer, mainly because, like, I think my favorite non-mythical dragon type is probably Garchomp. I know a lot of people prefer that, and this was before I knew Cynthia had it. The first time I saw Garchomp, I was like, oh, that is a cool Pokemon. My favorite dragon, period, is Rayquaza. I really like its design, and it's like one of those really just cool Pokemon, especially since dragons are kind of something that I've really liked for a really long time. If you can't tell by my user handle, Draco Breach. Draco being dragons. I give myself away far too easily. As far as like other favorites, I could probably go through all the types. I'm not entirely sure I could adequately cover them all. But like starters, oh boy, starters is actually kind of difficult because I really like Froakie into Greninja. I really like Piplup into Empoleon. I like Turtwig into Torterra. I pretty much like all three of the Gen 1 starters to some extent. Squirtle into Blastoise is probably my favorite, followed by Bulbasaur into Venusaur. Kind of the ironic thing is, I actually find Charmander into Charizard my least favorite of the Gen 1s, but I don't exactly know why. I like it, don't get me wrong, but probably my least favorite Gen 1 starter. Gen 2 is probably going to be Totodile, and then Cyndaquil, and then Chikorita. I think those are the 3 Gen 2s? I think. Bad thing is, I could actually pull up my Excel worksheet on my hidden ability starters and tell you I was right. It is Chikorita. Okay. Gen 3 actually is kind of interesting because Mudkip is my favorite from there, and then the thing is, Trico and Torchic are probably tied, with Torchic just barely coming out ahead. Huh. Kind of interesting. Yeah, that generation is kind of interesting. And then, of course, the next generation, Gen 4. Piplup, of course, I like the most, followed by Turtwig, and then Chimchar behind those two. I'm not a huge fan of Chimchar. Chimchar's not bad. He's not nearly as bad as my least favorite starter, which unfortunately is in the next generation is my least favorite starter. The 5th generation thing is, I think I actually like Snivy more than Oshawott, but I really love Oshawott. Oshawot's line design. But Snivy into, oh, I cannot remember the Snide Snake's name. But Snivy's evolution line is really good. Probably one of my favorite grass types, I'll be honest. And I cannot stand Tepig's line. Emboar is easily my least favorite starter. And certainly not my least favorite fire type. That is reserved for the dumb monkey trio. Which is ironically in the next generation. But anyway. Gen 6. Froakie clearly takes it out ahead. Froakie is easily my favorite of the three. Chespin and Fennekin I was not too terribly impressed with, although Chespin's design would probably beat out Fennekin's design as far as the evolutions go. Weirdly enough, I cannot remember their final evolutions names, but it happens. And then, oh, I know that sound. I am about to catch something. So we'll talk about this. This is my Route 10 capture. And I went back to Route 10, decided that I would try. And I decided that Coil should survive one hit from a super effective move. I ran across this Snom. It's a little weak bug, and it hardly did any damage. I think I decided... Did I decide to try hitting it? I can't remember. I know I decided that if I was going to hit it, I was going to be careful. I just cannot remember what exactly I did. I think I was looking for a not very effective move, and like a weak, not very effective move. Right, I decided to leave Coil out because it could take 2 crits from the Ice-type moves. So I didn't feel terribly threatened. I decided I liked the white and red color of the Premier Ball for the Snom, so that's what I'm trying to catch it in. Do I still leave Coil out? I think I might actually replace him this time. Yes, I do. I'm pretty sure I'm about to replace him. Yep, there we go. So I send out Bugs, who's going to resist everything that Snom can throw at me. I probably should have actually sent out, no, I shouldn't have, because that's still... Maybe I should have sent out Lancelot. I'm still indecisive. That's the worst part. But I think yep, right there. Critical capture. So, I get it with a critical capture. And, say hello to my Bug Ice type. And I can start grinding on Route 10 now. Which should help me speed up my grinding a little bit, because the Pokemon on this route are worth more experience. Especially since there are fully evolved Pokemon both in the overworld and in the grass. I'm trying to remember what I named. I remember the name. It took me a while to think of this name and a name of another Mon that I catch later in this episode. And I can't remember exactly what I was thinking. But I end up, come on. Wow, I am being indecisive, aren't I? There we go. And then I suddenly am like, yeah, let's go with this. Glacia. Say hello to Glacia the Snom. And really, I kind of like its design. So, we'll see how that turns out. And I decide, Yeah, I decided to swap it out for Lancelot for now. Just for the purpose of grinding Stom a little bit. And now we switch over to what I believe is Marnie's theme. And this is the theme that I will be using for the rest of the video when I am not catching anything or attempting to evolve. And this is actually the point where I thought I was going to evolve Yumi. Yeah, that's not happening right now. Anyway, back to what I was saying. 7th generation. Poplio, easily my favorite of the three. Litten comes right after Poplio. Although, no. Rowlet, I think, actually beats out Litten because of its final evolution. As far as design goes, I'm not saying that Decidueye is more powerful than Incineroar, because that would be foolish of me. But as far as others, oh my goodness, it gets interesting, because oh boy, just looking at the list of things that I have kind of already bred and things that I'm planning on breeding, like my initial list here is interesting, because I really Marini is probably my favorite poison type. Not my favorite water type, because I can't even. I don't know what my favorite water type is, I'll be honest. Because there are a ton of choices. But Marini, I believe, is probably my favorite poison type. There's Larvitar, which I've already said I have a shiny of. Marini, I don't have a shiny of yet. I want a shiny, but I'm so afraid of my shiny not having Regenerator. But I probably shouldn't worry too much about that if I'm trying to get a damp Mudkip. Drillbur is probably my favorite steel type. Probably. Maybe my favorite ground type, actually. There might be a steel type that I like more than it. Not sure. I have Bisharp on here. I actually rather like Bisharp's design. Honedge. I would have to say that's my favorite ghost type. I really would. Even though Tangrowth's on here, I don't particularly care for Tangrowth, but its like stupid ability to resist hits is one reason to like it. Right, I have a perfect Dratini and a perfect Swablu, as in, yes, with their hidden abilities. I actually have 2 different Rotoms. One is timid, one is bold. And yeah, they're gonna be interesting once I actually fully EV train them. Let's see. Oh yeah, Fletchling, probably. Ooh, you're probably my favorite fire type, mate. Thing is, there are 800 plus Pokemon to choose from. I'm not sure how I can even choose from a lot of them. Sneasel. Sneasel, I think, is my favorite ice type. And yes, I'm doing their pre-evolutions. I'm not talking about. I know Sneasel evolves into Weavile. Weavile is the official my favorite ice type, but it evolved from Sneasel, and I may as well talk about Sneasel. Chansey, I have a perfect Chansey. I have a perfect Larvesta, as in 6 IV Larvesta that I'm actually using as my Flame Body Pokemon, level 97, to hatch my eggs faster. And I'm pretty sure I can send Larvesta over to Sword and Shield, So I am 100% going to get another Larvesta and send it over because I do like it. It's kind of interesting, and it took me a while to get it. I also have a Gligar. Where would I put Gligar in my... I do like it. Kind of the interesting thing is I actually have a shiny Gligar in Pokemon Go. And I do not have a shiny Gligar in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I hope I'm gonna start breeding it, even though I have a perfect one. I'm gonna breed it again to try to get a shiny. I'm worried because Poison Heal is its hidden ability, and I want my shiny to have that. I have a Venipede. One of my favorite bug types is Venipede. I really like it and its design, and I have a speed boost Venipede. Oh, and I was talking about Garchomp earlier. Yes, I have a rough skin Garchomp, or Gibble, I should say, since I'm Abra. Yeah, I got a Magic Guard Abra recently. Oh wait, no, I have a perfect Abra. So yeah, I mean it's not shiny, but eh. I believe I have a perfect Ghastly. I have a perfect Heracross. Heracross might be my favorite bug type. And I have a perfect Mawile. I am 100% going for a shiny Mawile because Mawile is one of my favorite Pokemon. I really, really love its design, and its Mega is just it. I love its Mega. It is absolutely perfect. Okay. This is... Oh, right. I messed up in editing this, apparently. This is supposed to be sped up, but I didn't speed it up, and I deleted the music from it because I thought I was going to speed it up. But this is me getting Yumi damaged. Like, purposely trying to get this L-Gem, whatever. I don't like L-Gem. I keep using Will-O-Wisp just to give it a chance to attack, and it decides I'm going to teleport away, and I'm like, no! So, yeah, that happened. I run into a second one, use Will-O-Wisp, it teleports away. Yeah, so this one is going to teleport away as well. Hint, hint, spoiler. I'm pretty sure it's the third L-Gem that I run across. But anyway, other Pokemon that I really like. Probably my favorite fairy type is Mimikyu. Yeah, I think so. I think my favorite fairy type is Mimikyu. I really, really like Mimikyu. And I decided, this Thievul, I don't want to risk it. Because I kind of figure the Thievul might be strong enough to take out Yumi, even though it's a significantly lower level. But I still need to get Yumi, some more damage on Yumi, so I'm still hunting for something that I believe is kind of weak, won't do too much damage. And I believe this is the one that brings me down to the necessary hit points. So we'll be evolving Yumi pretty soon here. But yeah, using Synchronize. I don't know if damage from burns, poison, or weather does anything. So I decided that I would have to take another hit here. Well, I mean, I would have to take another hit anyway. But I decided to basically not calculate that burn damage in and to immediately get rid of it. Because I don't know if I need to bring Yumi down to 50 HP or if Yumi has to take 49 damage. I don't know. I don't know. But I was given the hint of take damage and then find something in the wild area. So that's what I'm going to do. I haven't really had a chance to bond with Yumi So I don't know, you know, the general idea is probably not going to take Yumi into battle. There we go, the audio returning. Did I hear a Pikachu? Anyway. So, like, if Yumi replaces anybody, it would be, Jar. But that's only because Jar did get a chance to prove himself, but I'm not, like, I haven't really had a chance to bond with, I'm pretty sure Jar is a girl. Her, so, you know, that's that. Not saying that Jar is bad. Trust me, Jar, like I said, Jar proved herself, in the Dark Gym. I know that Jar had the advantage there, but the fact that she was able to switch in 2 hits, able to deal out a good amount of damage, able to back up Wheelia when I needed her to, able to do everything that was necessary. You know, that's a good proving point. And here we go. We found the stone formation that I need to stand under or near or whatever. And Yumi said, "Hey, I don't like being hurt. I am going to turn into this thing." Runigillus something. Tries to learn some moves. I think I go with Shadow? No. Right, I decided that Hex is going to do more damage than Shadow Ball. I have my reasons, but I think I decided to keep Shadow Claw over Brutal Swing, simply because everything that's weak to Dark is also weak to Ghosts, so they have the same coverage. Hex is just going to do Hex is going to do less damage due to the whole physical versus special thing. Yumi is definitely more of a physical attacker, but right, I'm looking for a Pokemon to catch here because I haven't caught anything in this area, in this spot. And then I couldn't remember if I had caught a Nickit or not. So I actually go through here and I kind of get distracted by a bunch of other things. To see, you know, what in my Pokedex that I have seen I am still eligible to catch. Because there are, as of this point in the video, 4 areas in the northern wild area that I'm still eligible to catch, and pretty much all the areas in the south wild area that I'm eligible to catch. But I haven't found anything in the south wild area, and in this video, at the end, you'll see that I still haven't found anything in the south wild area. So I decide here, okay, I am eligible to catch this Nickit. So, I send out Lancelot, wait for its level to pop up to see if it should be safe enough to attack him, or for him, okay. Decide level 47, it should survive a drill pack. It doesn't survive a drill pack. So, this area is now off limits for catching, but I can train here now. Which means that this very silly bird has become prey. Unfortunately, it actually puts up resistance. So I head to this area next, try to see if there's anything I can catch. I think I spend a while finding nothing. So I don't know if there... I'm going to try this area again, although I might not record it if all I'm doing is searching. Mainly because, yeah, they're below level 30, so the likelihood of them knocking anybody out is incredibly low. And I'm running away from everything that's not eligible. I'm just thinking to myself every time I get into a battle, not eligible, not eligible, not eligible, not eligible. Just kind of slowly going insane. Missing Lenape. Oh, that was... I hate that I was not able to get Lenape, but things happen. Things 100% happen. I wouldn't mind raising a Skorupi. I've never actually done that before. I'm probably going to end up breeding one for use either competitively or post-game at some point, because they can be pretty decent. They're fairly bulky. Oh, right, I was checking to see if I was still in the same spot in the map. Oh, right. Say hello to capture. Well, capture attempt number 2. Well, no, capture attempt number 3 of this episode. Take a look at its level, and I see it's level 27, and I'm immediately like, wait, no, I cannot use... Huh. I think I just end up throwing regular Pokeballs at it until it decides to stay in the ball. Hoping that I'm hoping the entire time that I'm not throwing Pokeballs until it starts struggling itself into fainted status. But there we go. Second capture of the episode. And I'm kind of like, okay. So that's what's replacing I forgot his name. But yeah, this is it. Takes me a second to think of a name. Actually, no, it doesn't. I immediately have a dumb name, and I'm like, yep, you're getting a dumb name. And since it likes to crush shells, Shell X. It's dumb. Don't ask me why, but it is. Anyway, so there are... Oh wait, earlier I said that there were 4 areas in North Wild area. There were actually 5. I'm down to 3. And here I am just double checking that they're all from different areas. This is one of the 3 remaining areas. I'm going to come back to the... spoiler alert, I don't find anything here. I'm going to come up back under different weather conditions to see if I can find something, because all I found were Pokemon from older generations. And I'm still kind of looking around on my way to the other 2 areas where I can catch something. But yeah, like I said, spoiler alert, I don't find anything. I would love to raise a Mamoswine again. I had one in I think my Platinum team. I think. And yeah, that Mamoswine really did a number on battles that it participated in. It was good and strong. I've never raised a Snorunt, despite the fact that I actually do rather like, what is that ghost ice type called? I don't remember. Huh, yeah, I don't remember. I miss Lenape. I kind of figure that if I fish something up from the shore, that it will count as the area that I'm in, so that's why I'm looking for something here before I actually go into the water and go into the next area. But I decided, I'll try it. And I find some powerful Mons over here. I think that they're probably a little high level for training. What level is it? Level 54. Might actually be worth it actually it might be worth it because I'm pretty sure Wheelia could handle those Arcanines. Because it would be quad resistant to its stab and deal massive damage with the rock type moves. That's actually a good idea. I think training over here would be a good idea. The ground ghost type Golurk. I think Amalga would be good for them. Tippy Tap might if he's fast enough, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Amalga is genderless. I'll probably keep calling him he or Amalga he. But, That was kind of an interesting find. Never actually raised a Quillish. I probably should at some point. But I switched Pokemon real quick here, just so I have something fast to run from the Arcanine, because don't want to risk it. But yeah, I fish here for a little while. Lantern pops up. I really do like Lantern. I had one, raised one in one game. I can't even remember which game it was. But I had a Lantern. It was fun. It was a... And here we go with the fourth attempt. Oh, wait. I slowed it down too quickly here. Well, spoiler alert, I find something here. Just not at that point. Did I? Really? That's 2 Lanterns in a row that I'm showing. Okay, it's gotta be the next one then. There we go. This is a new Mon. I know that it evolves from what 409 was. But I haven't caught this one, so it is eligible. I'm trying to get a paralysis. Unfortunately, it survives that. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, it takes a little more than half damage and does not get paralyzed. So I decide, yeah, I'm not gonna risk that. I am just gonna throw a Pokeball and hope to catch it. I did not think it only took one. I thought I was remembering correctly. I thought it took more than one. But, yeah, it decides to resist me a little bit. Don't know for how much longer. I can't remember that much, but... Okay. 2 net balls that it has broken out of. I think this is my 3rd and final net ball. It breaks out of it. I think... Alright, it goes for dive. I remember this now. It decided to annoy me for 1 extra turn. And there's nothing I can do because it is... Right, I try to use Protect. Remember, oops, I have a Choice Scarf on. I probably will actually have to forget Protect. because Protect is kind of useless with a Choice Scarf on. So I'm like, here, have a potion. It uses dive that I take nothing from. And I decide to use a dive ball. I think this works. And honestly, if I were to catch one of, if I were to catch a Barraskewda again, it would, I would look up its shiny colors, and catch it in a Pokeball that corresponds to that. Because I will be breeding one of these, because I really like its design. It looks like a torpedo. And yeah, its name is going to be dumb again, because all of my names are dumb. Takes me a second. I actually look up, I will tell you what I'm looking up right now. I am looking up the names of brands of speedboats. And I find one and I'm like, yes, that's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I love it because it's dumb. I don't know how long it takes me to. I also debate for a while between certain names, because some of them are just like, why, and then I'm like, yeah, we're gonna name it this. Hydroplane. It's perfect. But yeah, that is catch attempt number 4, success number 3. I'm still eligible to catch something here, and I immediately notice something that I can catch, and I'm like, well, I never caught you. I caught its evolution, not it. So this is eligible. I cannot believe that I found the pre-evolution of one Pokemon that I had caught before, and the evolution of another Pokemon that I had caught before. It is what it is. That's really all. I think that was a critical capture too. I kind of decided to go with an Ultra Ball for 2 reasons. 1, I just wanted to get done with catching. And 2, it kind of matched the colors that its evolution has, which were primarily... Actually, maybe not. Its dots were not black, were they? Were they blue? Anyway, my reasoning was I thought Ultra Ball looked good with its evolution, direct evolution, and I don't know what its final evolution looks like, so, you know, we'll find out. I think I start to do a little bit more grinding here. No, I'm looking for more mods. And I'm going to go down to the south. I'm half tempted to look up catch tables to see if I'm wasting my time or not. But next episode is going to be... I'm not going to get distracted by attempting to catch anything. I'm going to primarily raise my team to be ready for the Elite Four and Champion. But this looks like another possible good spot for training, because there are a lot of fully evolved Pokemon over here, including a Haxorus. I'm leaving these battles so quickly that I'm not even seeing the level. I think that was level 58. Oh, wow. No, that's level 36? And 39, yeah, okay, those are 30s. So probably not a good place to grind, honestly. I'm looking around to see if there's anything I can catch. It's kind of weird that some areas don't seem to have any Galarian Pokemon in them. And some areas have Pokemon that were incredibly rare in previous generations, or that were difficult to raise and evolve, like Haxorus just walking around because, of course that makes sense. Or Shedinja just walking around, or Vespiquen just wandering around, and it's like, oh, okay. Kind of the interesting thing is, speaking of Vespiquen, in Sword version, I noticed that you can tell what gender Combi are on the field, and I was able to target and catch a female just by looking at them on the field, and I'm like, that is ridiculously easy. Oh. Yeah, that's the end of the episode. God bless and safe travels.